Today's House hearing on UFOs was billed as Congress, quote, pulling back the curtain. Correspondent Griff Jenkins tells us that support is continuing to grow now for the government to release more information.
Do you believe, just for the record, that the federal government, any part of the federal government, is knowingly concealing evidence about UAPs from the public?
Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes.
Yes.
A panel of whistleblowers says the government is hiding what it knows about UFOs, now referred to at the Pentagon as UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena.
The U.S. military and intelligence community are sitting on a huge amount of visual and other information, still photos, video photos, other sensor information, and they have for a very long time.
Journalist Michael Schellenberger dropping a bombshell allegation about a secret government program called Immaculate Constellation, which the Pentagon denies. Retired Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet says he's seen video evidence of actual encounters.
Satellite imagery of UAP from a few years ago still has not been shared with Congress.
Bipartisan lawmakers came out swinging in the name of transparency.
Why the secrecy? If it's really no big deal and there's nothing there, why hide it from the American people?
And the president-elect has talked about opportunities to declassify information on UAPs, and I hope he lives up to that promise.
The truth seekers may have found an ally in President-elect Trump.
I mean, there's no reason not to think that Mars and all these planets don't have life.
And the truth may actually be out there.
I think this is just the tip of the iceberg.
And the hearing comes on the heels of legislation introduced yesterday by Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett protecting UAP whistleblowers, making it easier for them to come forward. And Jillian, I don't know what the next chapter of this story holds, but it's getting interesting, and will be interesting too to see if the incoming administration supports these calls for transparency on UAPs.
I think it's safe to say now, after this hearing, Griff, they are out there. If you get any word from sources about when the aliens are going to make landfall on planet Earth, give us a shout out.
That's what everyone wants to know.
All right, thank you.
Shalom, shalom. Kahalayim la, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone to teach them well. Peace and salutations be to the elect. My brother Tazwa, I'm coming at you from the province of Babylon, camp here in Tampa, Florida. All right. This lesson's going to be going into UAPs, what they will call, or UFOs. Okay, so UFOs, what they call it, which is abbreviated for unidentified flying objects, and UAP, which was once unidentified aerial phenomenon, they now changed it to unidentified anonymous phenomenon. So all these names of just all these words mean mystery, mystery, mystery. You know, so that's all they're saying is mystery, mystery, mystery. Every word. Okay. It says in the New York Post, World News, declassified Cold War era CIA files detail Soviet clash with aliens who witnesses say turned soldiers to stone. It says a declassified Cold War era file from the CIA has gone viral over its coverage of a supposed clash between Soviet soldiers and a UFO, passengers of which reportedly turned the troops to stone before blasting off. Let's see if we can get straight to the nitty-gritty and skip all the background bullshit. Hey, look at this. Somebody put this in the chat, which was actually spiritual because I was going to grab that. It says, man, this is your pa. Trent Caputo says in the Bible there's a story of Lot's wife who was turned into a pillar of salt. Lot's wife, along with her husband Lot and their daughters, was instructed by angels to flee the city of Sodom before it was destroyed. However, Lot's wife disobeyed the command not to look back and was turned into a pillar of salt as a punishment. Okay, this event is seen as a cautionary tale about the consequences of looking back at a past. Okay, the rest of that is bullshit. All right, but good food for thought. Lot's wife was turned to a pillar of salt. Okay, which I can go and grab the original post I found on this. If I can find that, it was even more detailed, showing you how they went and actually studied the substance that these soldiers were made of when they were crystallized, you would say. Okay. This should be the one right here. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's a long read. It's a long read. But we're going to grab key points. All right. First off, let's open up with the scripture. In the book of Zechariah chapter 5 and we'll start at verse 2. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it. Hey, it says according to it. All right. According to it. According to who? The flying roll, that chariot, the angels. Okay. Those are the record bearers, the messengers. Okay, they're recording. They're keeping tabs on everything going on the earth, and they're bringing it back to the Lord. It says, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that, shall be cut off as on that side, according to it. Okay. It says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. That's why you got America getting swarmed with chariots. You look at the chariot sightings, it's mainly in America. Okay. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. It's definitely be putting their hand on the Bible. Swearing in the office that they're going to do this and that. And, you know, not knowing that that's not even for them. Okay, first and foremost. Yo, call YAHAWASHI. Yo, call YAHAWASHI. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai. There's like 4 or 5 chariots over there swarming in a circle, appearing and disappearing right now, bro. Can't make this up, bro. Call YAHAWASHI. Oh, I wish I had my phone. I could record. Yo, call YAHAWASHI. Salakia. Wow, bro. Call YAHAWASHI. Call YAHAWASHI. BAHASHAM Kakudash. That's the spirit. We going into a lesson on chariots. And it just seemed like 6 or 7 over there, appearing and disappearing. I don't think any more coming up, but they keep appearing and flying across the sky in a small distance and disappearing. And it's like they're going in a circle. Yo, that's your pa. Call YAHAWASHI. Salakia. Let's get back into this lesson. It says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord, Yahushai of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into him, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. All right, it's going to remain in the midst of who? Babylon. They're going to consume it. Okay? That's why these devils are afraid. They don't want you to see anything else but them. They don't want you to think that there's any power that's higher than them that's not under their control. Okay? They only want you to see their face. These fucking devils. That's why they got this information classified. They don't want to talk about it. They begging the Pentagon to release documents on it, and they still fighting it. They don't want to, because the shit that they seen It demonstrates the end of their kingdom. Okay? It shows you that they cannot go on further. All right? Let's get back into this article. This is Fox News article. Viral CIA file about aliens attacking soldiers takes off with UFO intrigue. It says, a declassified document posted to the CIA's website is raising eyebrows with claims of an alleged UFO attack on Soviet forces. Drop down to the point. The aliens, okay. It says the first-hand report describes a retaliatory alien attack after Soviet soldiers reportedly shot down a UFO flying over a military base, which is bullshit. These are angels, man, and angels appear in many forms, sizes, shapes, and forms. They will say they will call them aliens, but these are really just angels. They look like the aliens you see on TV. They call them the Greys, whatever it may be. These are actual heavenly beings, whether they be on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. They come to do the work of the Lord. Okay, but they're about to show you a demonstration of heavenly power as well. It says the aliens reportedly emerged from the wreckage, which there was no real wreckage. Them angels landed down there and got busy on these soldiers. Okay, the angels got down and got busy, and they were not affected. They were not hurt. That's why the previous article says they blasted off after the attack. Because they weren't shot down. If you get shot down, your shit not gonna fly no more. But these are chariots. These are angels we're talking about. Heavenly vehicles and heavenly beings. The aliens reportedly emerged from the wreckage, fusing together into one object. Okay, they left out the part where it says there were 5 separate entities, right? Which, let's see. I don't know if it'll get into it. But yeah. They'll get into it. So it says the aliens reportedly emerged from the wreckage, fusing together into one object and bursting into a bright light and turning all but 2 of the soldiers to stone. It says, if the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is an extremely menacing case. These devils are scared. They're terrified. Okay? They're filled with dread of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. They know that this is something that they cannot overcome. It's something that they're going to have to face in the end. Okay? It says, an unnamed CIA representative was quoted as saying in the report, the aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all our assumptions. They can stand up for themselves if attacked. Here they are, still trying to put angels on a power scale with them and measure them up to each other. Okay. What can I say to that? Let me grab this real quick. This is my response to these devils trying to measure their power with the angels. It says, I'll grab an NLT. It says, this is the message that was written. So like Daniel chapter 5 verse 25 in the NLT. This is the message that was written. Mean, tekel, and parson. All right, it says, this is what these words mean. Mean means numbered. YAHAWASHI has numbered the days of your reign and has brought it to an end. Tekel means weighed. You have been weighed on the balances and have not measured up. Otherwise, you have been found wanting in the KJV. It says parson means divided. Your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. All right. So, look, and even spiritually, now today, America's divided, okay, into Republican and Democratic. I was just watching a movie or not a movie, it's like it was a video on my phone I was watching, where this guy was doing a funny skit video about how Democrats are. He watched the movie Civil War. Slovakia, which dropped in summer of 2024, Civil War. And the trailer, I haven't even watched the movie yet, Slovakia, forgive me. But in the trailer alone showed a lot. And the guy had a gun aiming on the other guy. And the guy that was getting threatened, he was like, please, please don't shoot. I'm an American. And the guy laughed. The guy that was aiming the gun laughed and said, okay, well, what kind of American are you? Because and that day is going to depend on, that day is going to it's going to depend like what kind of group you're in, who you follow, what kind of American are you? Okay, what did you agree with in America? Because this country is already split. It's not one. This country is not whole. It's split already. Okay, so on that day you'll see it. The Lord has already sent that sword to divide. It says, but that's what I have to say about this devil trying to measure up to the angels. As the word is tekel, okay, means weighed. You have been weighed on the balances and have not measured up. So tekel to you Edomites, bro, because you think that you can measure up to these angels' power level and you can't. You keep trying to measure their power, measure their speed, and you can't. They said it was an instance where they had, I don't know if it was Iranian, so I don't remember, Slovakia, but if I could find the video, if you want to look up the video on YouTube, it was about, something that was declassified about UFOs. These devils was chasing the UFO in the jet, and they were going at speeds of Mach 9, right? Which is the highest speed that their fastest jets can go. And that's very fast, okay? Which is that's the fastest speed that any of their flying man-operable vehicles can go. Okay, and they said the chariot that they were chasing was flying at a speed of Mach 10, just right above their level. So the chariot was testing them and showing them that tekel, they've been weighing the balances and found wanting. They have not measured up. Okay, which really goes into not measuring up to the righteousness. Okay, you ain't got enough righteousness. The Lord got to about burn you up, man. Got to do away with you. Okay, but they have not measured up to that power level of the angels. They can't reach that. They will never reach that. These angels travel at speeds that you can't comprehend. It bends space and time. It's not constricted by time or the laws of this world. Okay. This is back to the article. It says, Canadian Weekly World News estimates the supposed incident occurred between 1989 and 1990 and was initially published in 1993. According to the document, information acquired by U.S. intelligence revealed reports of a low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer over a Soviet unit participating in training exercises. What the fuck? It says U.S. intelligence revealed reports of a low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer. Okay, over a Soviet Union unit participating in training exercises. I thought it said that the chariot was participating in the training exercises. Slovakia. Officials wrote that for unknown reasons, the soldiers launched a surface-to-air missile at the unknown aircraft, causing it to crash near the military base. The report describes how 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged. Which I can tell you right now, these are demons, man. Okay. Quick personal testimony. When I was in the world, before I was brought into the truth, like before I got right with the Lord for real, I was in the world and I was walking down the street. I just finished buying some, some MJ. I'm gonna just say MJ. Buying some MJ, getting ready to go home and smoke. Okay, and I was happy, I was excited, I couldn't wait. All right. As I was walking, I was looking up in the sky, just so happy. But I'm looking in the sky, I see what looked like a shooting fireball. I'm observing what looks like a shooting fireball flying across the sky at very low levels. I would say it was about, if I'm looking at a street light right now to measure, I would say it was about 5 streetlights high, okay? But it was coming down from the heavens. It was getting lower and lower. And I'm thinking it's gonna hit the earth and explode. I'm like, what the hell? So I froze, like I literally stopped and froze and watched it as it was flying. It was flying my direction, okay? Coming from behind me. And I'm stopping, I'm watching it come closer and closer. 5 streetlights above me. It gets right over my head and stops and disappears. And I was astounded, like, what the hell was that? And immediately, as soon as it disappeared, great fear fell upon me. 3 months, every day for 3 months after that day, I was in and out of the hospital, fighting demons, fighting anxiety demons, depression demons, okay? Afraid to wake up, afraid to go to sleep, afraid to move or walk, afraid to talk to anybody, afraid of everything. I was on the verge of being thrown into a crazy home the way these doctors were looking at me. I was going to the hospital thinking I'm dying, and they were telling me I'm above healthy. That was driving me even more crazy. All these things that I was feeling, like things were pricking at me, my skin pricking at my body and moving my organs around and causing pain. It was my mind. It was under attack, demonic attack, spiritual attack. In the end of those 3 months, I dropped to my knees in my own front yard because no one could help me. Everybody I called out to ignored me. Thought I was crazy. I dropped down to my knees, and rightfully so. I was fighting fourth dimensional beings in the third dimension. You know, something that nobody can see. Dropped down to my knees in my front yard and cried out to the Lord and said, please help me. If you're there, please show me what's attacking me. And I'll serve you, you know. Not to go too much into detail, but basically all I said was, if you are the Lord, please show me what's attacking me and help me, you know. And the very next day, I woke up. I woke up to a demon the same way they describe it in this article, hovering over me in the bed. And it was it was doing like a Spider-Man pose. And that's what's crazy, because the Spider-Man also represents demons. That pose he does when he sticks one leg out and he put his hands on the ground, kind of like a beast or like a cat prowling. All right, that's the pose that demon was standing over me in the bed. And me and my brother shared a bed, my little brother. So it was over me and both my little brother. And everything was like black and white. So it was like the lights were off. It was dark. And I could see the demon. And as the Lord allowed me to move, what you would call sleep paralysis, the Lord allowed me to move in it because I asked him, Lord, help me move. And I was scooching up out of the bed. Lord, help me move more so I can see his face. I got a little closer, and I got right face to face with this demon. And it sent chills down my spine, meaning a demon face to face. It sent chills down my spine. I didn't understand what it was. I'm thinking it's one of them alien abductions they talk about on TV. Okay? I asked the Lord to let me speak. Speaking to the Lord through my spirit, like, Lord, let me speak, so I may inquire of it. You know, basically, I asked, who are you? And it just looked at me. And the second time I said it, I yelled. I said, who are you? Because my voice sounded very faint, you know. But I yelled it. And when this demon perceived that I yelled at it, it opened his mouth as big as my head. And as soon as it opened his mouth, I woke up and shot up from my bed. And I was like, yo, that's the Lord. That's when I knew, hey, I got to serve the Lord. And I ain't going back, because I've seen the forces, okay? I've seen it with my actual eyes, man. All right? Thinking the whole time it's happening, my brother's asleep. He can't hear nothing. He can't hear me. I'm calling out to him like, wake up, wake up. He couldn't hear me, you know? That's because it was a spiritual interaction. My spirit was observing this demonic force that was in the fourth dimension that you can't see in the third dimension plane. So like you for rambling, let's get back into this article and make it fast. The reports describe how 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged from the downed spaceship and fused together to create one single object while emitting a loud buzzing noise. All right, so You can see, if you ever seen the chariots fuse into one in the heavens, you even know what this is talking about. But there's times where you see two chariots flying and they'll come together into one, or there's videos that you may see on social media of how these chariots will merge together and become one and become bigger, and then just shoots off or whatever. All right, it says the spherical object reportedly then burst into a blinding bright light. Eyewitness testimonials claim 23 soldiers suddenly turned into stone poles. 2 men reportedly survived the encounter because they were standing in a shaded area and were not completely exposed to the blast of light. That's similar to what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. It goes on to show you. Officials wrote that the remains of the petrified soldiers and the spaceship were transported to a secret scientific research base near Moscow, where it discovered the soldiers' molecular structure, which they lying on that because the previous post just said it blasted off after contact. All right, but it says, and the spaceship were transported to a secret scientific research base near Moscow, where it was discovered the soldiers' molecular structure matched that of limestone. All right, the document claims scientists believe the cause was a source of energy not yet known to humans. All right, and when I was reading this earlier, I looked it up to see the makeup of limestone. I'll look it up again and show you. It says, limestone is a sedimentary rock primarily made of calcium carbonate, which our bodies have calcium in it. So these niggas was really calcified. They turned into calcium poles. Okay, crystallized, just like Lot's wife was. Scripture say what? Remember Lot's wife. Do not play with the Lord. Okay. It says limestone can form from the accumulation of marine organisms' shells and skeletons over millions of years. Chemical precipitation, calcium carbonate, can also precipitate directly from water in warm, shallow seas, creating unique structures like ooliths. Look up ooliths, OOLITHS. It looks like stone. Looks like basic stone, man. This is what these gentlemen turned into. It was 25 soldiers in total. 23 of them turned into stone pillars. Okay. Then 2 was left. Not because they were protected by the shade, but because the Lord allowed them to be an eyewitness to the power of the angels, man. Okay. Let's go into it. Got a few scriptures we'll close up. Psalm 68 and 17, the chariots of YAHAWASHI are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, and the holy place. Okay, so the Lord has millions of angels. Okay, well, Yahushua said there be more that are with us than are with them. All right. When Yahushua ascended up, what do you think he went into? Okay, let's grab it. Acts chapter 1 and verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Ruach shall come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, which you will call beamed up. These devils ain't putting these things on TV for no reason. All the things you see on TV and these movies, the shows, these things are inspired by true events. These devils cannot come up with anything to save their lives, especially an Edomite. Their mind is so basic. The scripture calls them base men, viler than the earth, okay? They can't come up with anything to save their lives. The only thing they came up with is a patent, which is something they use to claim everybody else's ideas. So you think this devil came up with the ideas of UFOs beaming up a cow or beaming up a person or aliens or spaceships and all the shit that they put in these movies? You think they came up with it? No. These things are revealed in movies because these things have been witnessed. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Okay? That cloud was a chariot. What they will call today a UAP, unidentified anonymous phenomenon, or unidentified aerial phenomenon, or a UFO, unidentified flying object, which is becoming played out. We tell you that it's the chariots of the angels of YAHAWASHI. These are angelic vehicles. You know what they are, and they know what they are. Scriptures say, even the scriptures say, thou believes that there is one power, thou doest well. The devils believe also, and they tremble, roughly paraphrasing. So these devils, these Edomites, they believe too, and they are terrified. All right, that's why the Pentagon ain't releasing these documents. You think that this was something? Angel turned 23 soldiers into stone. There's probably nothing compared to what these devils got classified right now that they ain't trying to release. They holding on tight for dear life, because if they release this, the people gonna understand, man, that grip that Esau has on their mind is gonna fall away very fast. Okay, so if these documents get released, these people gonna start to understand the things around them. Like, okay, this world is not what I thought it was. Okay, you got a lot of people who don't believe. You got a lot of people who are Satanists. Everybody gonna stop and start trying to figure shit out. Okay, because Esau's got a veil over the whole world right now. Okay, covering up everything that's really happening. That's their job. That's what they do, is they cover up things. They're deceived, and through this, their deception works upon the minds of the multitude. But that's why the scriptures say, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But it's not possible. That's why the Lord gave this truth, his precious things, into his elect. All right, and they can't be taken out of his hand. Scriptures say, no man can pluck them out of my hand. Okay, so Lord, when we be those men, we ain't going nowhere. We standing strong and firm for the Lord, and we telling you what the truth is, and they lying to you, and that's the truth. That's the spirit. We witnessed 6 or 7 chariots just swarming around over there, bro. I'm out front of my house, just looking up in the heavens and doing a lesson. I wasn't even really looking for a chariot. I just happened to look up, and I saw them. I haven't seen chariots in a little minute, but I saw them over there dancing, man. The angels rejoicing. Okay, the time is near, brothers. Scriptures say, when these things come to pass, look up, for your salvation is nearer than when we believed. Roughly paraphrasing. All right, so we're about to see a lot more chariot sightings. As a matter of fact, we're about to see the angels up close and personal in the times we're coming into. The angels are going to really deal with us on another level, okay? They're going to help us maneuver through things. They're going to show us ways out and escapes and make ways for us to escape on the orders of the Lord, Yahawah. Okay, they're going to give to us, impart to us understanding as they did the prophets of old, okay? Open up our wisdom, knowledge, and understanding even more. Bro, our minds are going to be in different realms. Though they already are, it's going to get on a higher level in the times we're coming into, because there ain't going to be no distractions. Ain't going to be no social media, no TV, no 5G Wi-Fi, no calcified water. Ain't going to be none of that shit, man. It's going to be straight up, raw. Everything's going to be raw. This devil ain't going to be able to deceive no more. He's going to lose his power. So people are going to really start to understand the things around them. These people are too distracted to really dive into the things that are around them in the world. But when their distractions are taken away, then you go understand there is a power. There is a God, what they will call it. His name is Yahawah, and his son's name is YAHAWASHI. What is his name and his son's name if thou canst tell? And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? Because the chariot was in the sky. Okay? And Yahushua was being beamed up into a chariot. He was going to go home. It says, This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner. This was a prophecy. It says, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So he gonna return the same way that he left, in a chariot. Okay? They perceived at that time to be a cloud, you know. The chariots disguise themselves. The Lord said he was amongst Israel, and when he was leading them out of Egypt, as a pillar of fire by night and as a cloud by day. Okay, so when you see chariots at nighttime, what do you see? Bright lights. You see a light. It looks like a star moving around, but it's really chariots. It looks like a ball of fire, but it's really a chariot. And in the daytime, what does it look like? A cloud. Okay, which what I just saw was pillars of fire moving around in the air, man. Disappearing and reappearing. Okay, some changing colors. I seen one change it to red, to orange, and then disappear. All right. This lesson's already been long enough. I'm gonna close it out by giving all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, I truly hope you were edified by this lesson. So next time, Shalom.